Welcome. Come on into the garden. I'm having fun. Hey, I'm planting the rest of the tomatoes. I'm on the Homestead Tomatoes. And yes, look how they're just about 3-4 inches. Just got done planting 7 of them. I have 1 more to do. Now these are pretty easy, okay? Get down here. The main thing is, you know, it's your cage, and I'm going to go over that. But you want to get this deep, again, like I did the other ones here. Pop this out. Be real careful taking them out of those cages, the roots. You don't want to really disturb them too much. But get this baby in here. Bring that dirt in real slow around it. Like that. And again, go around this outside and make sure that's packed. Not the center. You don't want to squeeze it too much. Now, when you're down here, you know, you got to have some knee pads on. Your knees will kill you when you're all done, especially as you get younger. Now, on the cage, these cages here, this is the kind you purchase at a hardware store. Now, if possible, they sell 2 different kinds of gauged metal. Try to get the thicker ones because they don't bend as much. The thinner ones don't last that long. You push them down and you know, they bend, they twist. These are pretty thick. That's the ones you need to get. And when you reuse them, you know, try to straighten out the bottom metal because we're going to be pushing this down. Now, as you see on the top too, I needed to have these tomatoes cages a little higher because these homesteads, they get 6 foot. All right, and this here, it's close to 6. You know, here's about 4.5. But when you push them down, try to get these straight, okay? And push down here. Hopefully you won't hit a rock. You know how that is. Get them down as far as you can. Now, when these get 6 foot, when the storm came once, they got toppled over. They just blew over because they're, you know, it got top heavy. So what I use on here, instead of a wooden stake, I use a piece of rebar. All right? And this rebar is very easy to put in. When you push down as far as you can, maybe get a little hammer or baby sledge and get that down a little bit more. And again, what I always use are the zip ties. Now, I bought a big bag of the 11-inch ties. And you know, these are going to be too long. You can use smaller ones for this. Yes, I'm wasting a lot, but I'm not going to go out and buy more here. And when you do put them on, try to give it a cross here on the metal where a joint is, so it's on this one and this one, plus the rebar. But I put at least 4 on here. Now, I'm only going to put 2 right now. All right, and get them tight. So this here, boy, I'll tell you what, when they get, it's perfect, okay? Piece of rebar is cheap. You can get a long piece, get them to cut it, or you can buy them already, say 3-4 feet. Make sure it's at least a foot in the ground. Now, when I cover the bottom with the plastic, I wait till it's in the ground because it's a lot easier because this is a smaller area. Instead of like my other cages were wider. Now what you want to do, and to make it easy for yourself, maybe tie the end on a knot here. Get your plastic, tie it on a knot so it doesn't unravel. And just take your plastic and take it around here like this. Pretty simple, right? Look at that. It's So you have your own little greenhouse. And then give yourself a little extra there and cut it off. Wind it up like this and then just tie it off. And that's it. Because once these tomatoes grow on top of the plastic, it's time to rip off the plastic. Just tie it in a knot and fold it inside. Tuck it down like that. That's pretty cool. These tomato cages are great, okay? Just make sure you get the thicker metal. I had a really bad time on the thinner stuff. If you have them already, you know what I mean. But get your tomatoes in the ground. Start a garden. See, it's the second week in February here in South Texas. And that means it's time for planting. Remember, we have 2 growing seasons. I know I mentioned that a lot, but I'm happy about that. Second week in September, second week in February. And the reason these tomatoes get 6 foot is because of our favorite fertilizer here, which is rabbit poop. And I might have said this many times before, tomatoes and rabbit poop, they go together. They love each other. You'll see this season how the tomatoes grow, how big they get, and how many tomatoes we get. It's everything. It just doesn't grow a big tomato plant and there's no tomatoes. There's plenty. Hey, and on these zip ties, when you put them up, you're going to have these little things hanging off. Get a scissors, and cut off the ends. And throw them away. You'll end up, if you leave them drop, you'll end up finding them in your garden at the end of the year. Eat healthier. Guys, come on. You got to plant your own garden. Man, vegetables are so expensive now. I can't believe it. If you're planting it yourself, at least you know there's no pesticides or anything on it. All right? And it really does get you and your family to eat healthier. You're proud of your vegetables. Because the best thing is to share these with all your families and friends. Or not. But get something in the ground. All right? Till next time, happy gardening. From GinosGardens. Ciao, baby.